Hi, this is Discussioner here again. I'm on the highway right now with my new camera that I just got for Christmas. On Christmas Eve, Christmas morning now, midnight, 12:28. And I'm going back to my mom's house, as is tradition. Normally spend Christmas Eve with my dad, and then I will drive home to my mom's house. I say home, but anywhere I go is basically home. I have like 5 homes. Not really that many, but anyway, I've seen lots of people do videos on the road, and I'm a little sleepy, and I like not dying, so I thought I'd talk to you guys for a little bit while I'm in the car, and that should keep me up for a little bit. First off, I did have a very good Christmas, and I hope all of you guys did too. Secondly, I think everyone should check out the video series by UNFF Wildcard, who I will be chidingly referring to as my nemesis, La Hiro Nakamura from Heroes, called Nemesis in there. He's a really great guy. He's not a dumbass by any means. He is a theist, and I think a Catholic too. Which seems surprising given a lot of his beliefs. But maybe I'm just being ignorant here. But he has a new series out. Well, he actually didn't do it, but he just posted it about the historicity of Jesus, and brings up some good points that I think need addressing. I actually asked John L. Armstrong to take a look at it, and didn't know if they actually hear. And he said he would, and he did actually. And he made a response with one point, very well crafted point. Which, if you look on the first part of the video, you have that. You can see John L. Armstrong's response to it. It's his latest video, as far as I know now. Now, I want to make one point here, Wildcard, and this is my thing. I think you may have, if you had indeed proved the historicity of Jesus, then you have done so by denying his divinity. And I've got a little bit of a longer explanation for that, and I'll go into that in just a second, but right now I think I've got to pay a little bit of a toll here, so give me a second. So yes, back to my original point. I believe what Wildcard's video, which he didn't do and someone else did, states, well, the first point was about Tacitus. Now, we all know, or at least if you're into the historicity of Jesus, that Tacitus does mention that the Christians were being blamed for the burning of Rome, something along those lines, and he mentions Jesus Christ, who was crucified by Pontius Pilate. Now, one of these skeptic interjections that he lists and tries to refute is that it's very possible that Tacitus was only taking the Christians on their word and wasn't actually, getting any records. The Christians told him, yeah, our Savior is Jesus Christ, and he was crucified by Pontius Pilate, and that sort of thing. Now, he answers this by saying that, well, no, Tacitus was a very meticulous historian, did a lot of, wouldn't just take that sort of testimony, that he would actually most likely did it from Roman records. Because that was his style, apparently. And I don't know a lot about Tacitus, so for the moment, I'll take his word on that. But for 2 points with this. One, now, most of what you have in the Bible is eyewitness testimony. In fact, since most of the Bible was not written during Jesus' time, actually, I don't think any of it was written during Jesus' time, a lot of it was written by people who never met Jesus. So all they have is eyewitness testimony, and I hear Christians all the time saying how reliable eyewitness testimony is, even in the second generation. Even someone who says someone else told them is apparently reliable to a Christian, from what I've heard. So if it is so reliable, why would Tacitus not use that sort of thing? Especially given that what they were claiming, or at least what Tacitus was talking about, wasn't exactly, a controversial thing. The whole Savior rising from the dead, yeah, that's controversial. But he doesn't mention anything about that. All he mentions is that he was crucified by Pontius Pilate. That's like somebody claiming the amazing atheist told him to go fuck off. No one's going to question that. It's like, okay, great. So I don't see why he would have to go through back to the Roman records. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting, I think, is that perhaps there was a historical Jesus, and perhaps everything that video that Wildcard posted is true. Now, here's the issue. If they're really going back to Roman records, and if Tacitus was really a chronicler of the time, I think the argument from silence has even more weight now. Because if he had heard of this Jesus guy, if he had found records of him, I think there would have been evidence for, I don't know, maybe the feeding of the multitude or raising people from the dead and that sort of thing. But we don't see that from Tacitus. All he mentions is that there was a guy that was crucified. So perhaps at some point I will give you that Jesus was a real person that walked the earth. I'm not there yet. But if I do, then I think that kind of puts his divinity completely out of question, or at the very least, a lot of the miracles that he did, because I think that would have been a major thing, and we don't hear that from any historian. Now, Wildcard does mention, or the video that Wildcard posted, does mention a debunker of Christianity of the time. I forget his name. I'll post it in the side, I think. Mentioning that all of these tricks of Jesus, the feeding of the multitude and raising of the dead, are just tricks and sleight of hand. But this guy was, I think, toward the 2nd century. And at the time, the dogma was pretty well established. I mean, he was reading these things about Jesus and saying, they're not true. So I don't think he was really going back to the time and finding out people saying about, yeah, I was there and all of that sort of thing. Christians were telling them, hey, our guy fed 5,000 people. And he's like, well, no, that's just magic, because he was trying to debunk that. So I wouldn't really consider that evidence for Jesus' historicity, or at the very least, wouldn't consider that evidence for those things having actually taken place. Guy seemed to be a little bit of a dick to me from what I saw in the video. And considering he was most likely lying about a lot of those things, he was probably just doing anything he could to dissuade Christianity. So he obviously would have addressed these miracles that the Christians were proclaiming. So this is a first couple points to why I don't think so far. There's a lot more to be addressed. It's a 4-part video series. And again, please, I check it out and give me your thoughts, and give Wildcard respectfully, please, your thoughts on this. Because it's a major issue. It's not a deal breaker, because really my whole free will argument from the philosophical proofs is my main dig. But yeah. Which he says he's going to be making a video on soon, and I'm greatly looking forward to that, because, no offense, I sincerely doubt it's going to be a cohesive argument, because I've been trying to think about this for a long time, and I can't seem to find any way out of the free will paradox. And if you're completely clueless as to what I'm talking about, check out my philosophical proof series. Everyone seems to have really liked it. I know I've had a bunch of subscribers since I've posted those videos. So if you've been new to my channel or your first time watching, check that out. And I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas, and hope you continue to have a nice holiday season. If you're Jewish, Happy Hanukkah. If you're an atheist, Happy Solstice. If you're Kenyan, is it Kwanzaa or something? It's just all, I really don't know much about it, but happy whatever. Just enjoy yourself. This is the season to be merry, whatever your religious, cultural beliefs are. And do me a favor, make sure you brighten up some other people's lives as well as your own, in addition to your own. Well, I'm eventually going to run out of memory, and I'm probably going to have to cut this down a lot, because I probably ran over 10 minutes. But yeah, have a nice day. Honest discussioner, I'm not going to take my hand off the wheel for this, so no salute. Honest discussioner, out.